aka Shantizi on Twitter and Instagram, or just simply just Shantae. So I am here with an after show because I do my show on Friday nights at 10:30 on Instagram called Shantae's Analysis. So I'm here with some stuff, but not too much stuff because I am tired. I just did a project. I just did a couple papers with a 11-page bibliography and editing some 103 PowerPoint slides. I'm tired. This is grad school life. But I'm also seeking employment. But here is the numbers for coronavirus. I'm only going to focus on the the global numbers and the US numbers and other numbers as well too. So I'm here with it. I'm going to pull up my internet, my other piece of internet. So here we go. So globally, we are at, I'm going to let you know, 36 million. I can read it from my phone. 36,796,047. That's on a global, that's 188 countries. Global deaths is at 1,067,060. Damn. U.S. confirmed cases, 7,662,798. And the U.S. death toll is 213,739. Damn. U.S. confirmed cases, according to New York Times COVID map, because I just read from the Johns Hopkins website. New York Times COVID map, we at California is at 850,685. They're on a trajectory to having 1 million cases in the U.S. They'll be the first state. I hope that's not the case, but it seemed like that's going to happen under this leadership. Texas, 824,557, followed by Florida, 728,913, New York, 476,422. Hey, Derek. Let's see, Illinois, 317,501, Georgia, 311,534, North Carolina, 227,756. Arizona, 224,101. New Jersey, 213,801. And Tennessee rounds up the top 10, 207,823. Damn. Of course, as I said this, we have no national testing. From the COVID super spreader in chief, aka Donald Trump. So, speaking of the COVID super spreader, according to the Washington Post and several other news outlets, let's see. He is holding a rally, the COVID super spreader in chief. He is holding a Saturday event at the White House, sources said. And he has not tested negative for coronavirus. He hasn't even taken a test since he was diagnosed. Hey, how you doing? Since he was diagnosed, right? People, this is what we're fucking dealing with. We're dealing with a COVID super spreader in chief, ready to spread COVID to his supporters, and is not giving a shit. Literally not giving a shit. He's having a hard time breathing. He's coughing during his interviews. He's trying to hold and clench his breath, as different epidemiologists and pulmonologists have said on national television, and even some other infectious disease doctors. I believe them before I believe him. Even Anthony Fauci had said it himself. There was a super spreading COVID event. And unfortunately, I don't know if he's I don't know if this is going to work, but he's spreading COVID and it's not a good look. And it's already over, according to some sources, over 5 million people already in counting has done early voting. And it's long lines. Very long lines. Because they don't like what's going on. Everybody know that Trump is losing his mind. Them steroids. Oh, my eye. I'm tired. Them steroids are really taking a toll on that ass. He is the super spreader in chief. Like, it's no way to grasp it. You would think that he will learn from this virus. Like, he'd be having some sort of compassion. Like, he will already pass legislation. He will tell Mitch McConnell, the HEROES Act is on your desk. Let's go. No. Let's put money into contract tracing. Let's put money into schools and make sure kids have the right PPE. Make sure people in their homes, which he holds it, have reusable masks. Because he halted that from the post office sending reusable masks to 600 million American homes. Good job. But according to Pence, they did a fantabulous job on Wednesday when you couldn't defend that answer when Kamala Harris came for the fly. Well, the fly landed on your head because she would have came and slapped you upside the head with some gloves and a whole protective suit. But anyhow, he is holding an event and then he's going other places on Monday like he is young and spry. When you are 74-year-old, obese-looking, tan, dry-looking ass white man. Everybody talking about Joe Biden's fitness. Joe Biden is perfectly fine. If anything, he lended his COVID response plan to Donald Trump, and he has not taken no advice. The former vice president from a different party is telling you how to combat something, which he could be keeping it for himself, which now I'm glad he kept it for himself. And you fucking, just be like, oh, I'm not going to take your response, blah, 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 blah. Of course you're not going to take that response. He's trying to help your dumb ass. Which I'm like, Joe Biden, you too much of a Christian. Because me, as much as I'm a Christian, I'll be like, no. I will not want to give you my COVID plan saying that you took credit for that when you know good and damn well Joe Biden had a team of policy people. And Joe Biden is a legislator. He legislates more than he actually can lead. Even though he is pretty much a good leader. He led with the first African-American president. I mean, come on. I can't click on it when I'm doing this live. That's impossible. But if you could DM me on Twitter, I can probably watch it. But, I mean, the COVID super spreader in chief is just being deplorable, as Hillary Clinton said, as all other people said, as New Yorkers, Northern New Jersey folks, and Southern Connecticut folks have said it. Even some California folks, they know because some of them are native New Yorkers that moved there. But I'm just saying, this is how deplorable he is. Oh, it's the Lincoln Project. I think they did a Covita. I like the Covita thing. That was funny. I'll check out their page. But enough from the COVID super spreader in chief, because, he be spreading COVID with that hot ass breath. He looked like his breath stink too. Looked like he had mothballs in his breath. Gretchen Whitmore, y'all don't know that she was about to be kidnapped by a whole bunch of domestic white terrorists? Like, that's crazy. Everybody's like, why are y'all freaking out because if she was black? I said, it doesn't matter. This is a woman that's trying to save these motherfuckers their lives, their whole entire lives. Because, I mean, first and foremost, it's like, why would you even want to kidnap her? What the fuck did she do to y'all motherfuckers besides doing a stay-at-home order to save y'all motherfucking lives? And still trying to save y'all dumbasses. I would be like, Governor, let them die. I'm sorry. But if you want to be dumb, go ahead. Go ahead, walk around with no mask and see you get COVID and you be on the ventilator. You be ending up like Herman Cain ass or that guy from Ohio that said that he don't believe in COVID and he was on the ventilator. Next thing he died. This is a global pandemic. This shit is too real. I know a couple people that died from it. 2 pastors and 1 longtime neighbor from when I was a child. And a former colleague that has asthma because she had COVID-19. Keep in mind, she already had a pre-existing condition called diabetes. Now she has asthma. So a couple folks I know that had COVID-19. And their kids had COVID-19. There's some people that had amputations because of COVID-19. And some of them still didn't make it. Like, this is real. It's no joke. You can't be playing with people's health. Like, this is serious. And that's what she was trying to do. But obviously they were trying to, and of course, Donald Trump basically like went after her because she said it's from the tweet that he did liberate Michigan because of them stay-at-home orders. Keep in mind, you're supposed to be the leader of the free world and you're supposed to keep us safe. I know you wasn't shit from the beginning, so why would I expect a lot from Donald Trump? Like, the mainstream media need to stop treating this man as he's a normal resident of the United States, because he's not. He has proven time and time again he's not normal. People in New York said, like, he's terrible. He's a terrible shit face. Yeah, they all got arrested. They were talking to FBI agents, undercover FBI agents, knowing the FBI was looking at them. Thank God for Christopher Wray. Even though he's a political appointee, but damn it, he's the only one with the integrity left in that Justice Department. Because Bill Barr ain't shit neither. He actually praised these Proud Boys, these Boogaloo Boys, whatever the fuck their name is. He praised them too. It's bad enough you got the resident at 1600 Black Lives Matter Avenue, a whole ass, a complicit silent vice president. But then you got an AG that ain't shit. But keep in mind, I tell people, Bill Barr ain't shit. He wasn't shit from the Bush era, the early Bush, the Daddy Bush era. I'm just saying. Yeah, they do need to stop seeking the horse. They need to stop. And that's what making me mad, because they're doing this shit again. They focusing, oh, Joe Biden got cancer. Joe Biden has a stutter. Even in 2012, you heard a little bit of the stutter. But I'd rather have him as a leader than have a New York con artist, as I label him, with all the other labels except Mr. President, because he don't deserve that shit. But kudos to Gretchen Whitmer handling that shit like a motherfucking champ. Now, I got to get into some of the Cosplay Socialists. My new name for them is Republican Socialists, because they go after Democrats. These are the far leftists. It's just as bad as the far right. They share the same commonality, being chaos agents. Just like Republicans got jackass Tea Party people and far right extremists, which they can't stand them because the conservatives be looking at them like, what the fuck are you doing? You have on the Democratic side the far left progressives, which they're not progressives because they haven't done shit. It's no receipt that they have done shit. But I am going to read one of these tweets. I'm not going to read the whole thing because, it's pointless. I mean, I'm just not. So, Walker Bragman is a journalist, a cartoonist, and a former surrogate to the Bernie Sanders 2020 presidential campaign. So, he tweeted this today, and it got some crazy attention. This is the home of Joseph Morrison, one of the Michigan men recently arrested for the plot to kidnap Governor Gretchen Whitmer. Can we acknowledge that maybe economic circumstances play a role in radicalizing people? What? Then he goes on saying, no one is fated to be a far-right terrorist. This is learned and fostered by governmental negligence. We have we need to make sure that people feel they have a real stake in society. When Trump took office, 40% of the population was struggling to afford basics. We are reaping what we sowed over 4 decades of trickle-down neoliberal policies. Okay, so let's just correct that there. 4 decades. So that includes the 1980s, right? Since 40 years. Who was the president throughout the 80s? Ronald Reagan. He had Reaganomics. Left out black and brown people, mostly. 1989 to 1993, it was George H.W. Bush, Daddy Bush. Okay. Then you have Bill Clinton, who came in basically and basically balanced the budget with fat ass, nasty ass Newt Gingrich and somebody else. He balanced the budget. He worked for his dumb ass. Even though Newt Gingrich still talks that shit every day, which other Republicans be like, please shut the fuck up. George Bush was the president from throughout the 2000s, mostly the early 2000s, and throughout the 2000 decade, mostly. And then you have President Obama from 2009 to 2017, and then you have this jackass. So throughout the 4 decades, there were 4 Republican presidents and 2 Democratic presidents. Throughout 4 decades. We're in 2020, 1980. That's 4 decades. 4 Republican presidents, 2 Democratic presidents. One was a very staunch conservative. 2 of them were moderates. And one is just an extremist. Y'all know who the extremist is. Even though both of them had very conservative, 2 of the Bushes, because they're considered as moderates, had 2 very staunch conservative vice presidents. And the staunchest conservative of them all was Dick Cheney, who was degenerate daughter Liz Cheney ain't shit neither. Even though I never agree with the Bushes, but I have respect. I also have respect for Junior Bush. Because Junior Bush, he really didn't want to be president. I kind of understood why. His brother was trying to be something that George Bush wanted to be, but yeah, you get the picture. But, Walker, what are you talking about? And the state of Michigan, from the last time I checked, had a horrible governor. Rick Snyder is part of the reason why there's the water crisis in Flint happening. Okay? He was testifying to Congress. That ass got chewed up. But more on Walker's baseless tweet. I read that part. In 2019, it was reported that 78% of full-time workers were living paycheck to paycheck. Who's the president in 2019? In 2019, it was Donald Trump. Now, thanks to COVID, the Trump administration assembled handling of the imbecile handling of the crisis and the congressional inaction, things are far worse. We see unemployment skyrocket. More than 30 million jobs are lost. You know why they're lost, Walker? Some people need some civics lessons because they're just that stupid. Because Mitch McConnell had bills on his desk to help both Democrat and Republican folks. No matter what your party affiliation is, it will help people. You even had some conservatives in the House that voted for the HEROES Act, and I believe one of them was Will Hurd. Just saying. The far right and white nationalist groups feed on disaffection. They tie cultural resentment. Yeah, he goes on about that, but you still caping for a white supremacist. Ever seriously consider why people who like this, who live like this, aren't the ones who take arms against their government? Are they just born better people, or could it be that they benefited more than from assistance of government? Okay, so I'm not going to read more of Walker's tweet because I feel that it's very stupid. It's racist, it's deplorable, and it proves my point of some of these deplorable as progressives, or should I say Republican socialists. And it's so sad because there are real Republicans that actually try to do shit. Kudos to Hogan, Governor Hogan of Maryland, and kudos to Mark DeWine, who are actually trying to do something to help their citizens. But people like Walker, Cosplay Socialists, ain't shit. He is not an ally of black and brown people. He is not an ally of the average everyday American worker. He is a trust fund baby. He has more money than I do. Let's look up his net worth. Why don't we? Because some people need to be vetted. Because Walker has been getting off thin ice. Where is that net worth? Trying to look for that shit. Okay. You can't see his net worth, but he is a trust fund baby. But we can look at his biography, though. Autobiography? Yeah, we sure can. We sure can. He is a cartoonist based out here in New York. So if I run into that motherfucker, probably in Brooklyn somewhere, because he looked like a hipster in Brooklyn somewhere. His work, they say he lived in the Hamptons. His work appears in Pace Magazine, Salon, and The Hill, and TATM. He's calling himself a progressive, but he lives in the Hamptons. Let's see. Walker's parents are from, you know, they're from the Hamptons. The Hamptons is in Long Island, for those who don't live in New York. And they have a pretty nice house. So he grew up privileged. So my understanding is, how are you trying to relate to why are you trying to relate to the average person? You don't care. And I'm sorry to get long-winded, but I hate motherfuckers like these. I really do. And it's not just him. It's Crystal Ball. It's Anna Kasparin. It's Brianna Gray. And, of course, Mr. Bestiality, stick your dick in the animal shank. Like, I'm so sick of these motherfuckers. I hate them. Like, I detest them. Every time when they talk, I'm just like, shut the fuck up. Please. And Ryan Knight, the bitch-ass motherfucker who blocked me. Yes, I'm going to add him in there too. Because he acts like he's so concerned about black people, and you're not. I called you out on your shit because you're not concerned. Because if you were concerned about black people, you would be voting for the Democratic platform. You even got conservatives voting for the Democratic platform. They care about more about black people than your dumbass. That's what I'm saying. These progressives ain't shit. These progressives, they not even worth the penny on the ground. On the New York City concrete at that. Fake allies. That's what they are. They fake as shit. And I'm just going to leave it as that. But I'm going to end this. So we got to vote, folks. Trump spreading the coronavirus. He's trying to still put Amy Coney Barrett on that. There's still some GOP senators that still have not tested for COVID-19, including Marsha Blackburn, who was on The View yesterday looking like a whole entire ass. Lindsey Graham himself, the reason why those debates are not happening. Who else? A whole host of other senators. We're facing 5 crises. Literally, we are. And it's just shit. And as you know, next week, the debates are not happening because Donald Trump still has coronavirus. He refused to participate in the virtual setting, which I'm not surprised because he's a bitch. And he knows his mic will be shut off because he even said it himself. He said the quiet parts out loud. And Mitch McConnell don't seem to care. He wants to fill that seat, but block the black man from filling that seat with a moderate centrist guy, which is crazy. But you're going to put the far right extremists. And trust me, her confirmation here is going to be testy. Because Kamala Harris said she already taking a break from the campaign and going to be right at the confirmation because she's the U.S. sitting senator. She's first senator. She's going to send that thing. You're going to have her. Between her, let me tell you who was nothing to play with on that Senate Judiciary Committee. Kamala Harris, Cory Booker, Dick Blumenthal, Dick Durbin, Amy Klobuchar, Mazie Hirono, and sometimes Patrick Leahy. They are nothing to play with on that Senate Judiciary Committee. That Senate Judiciary Committee, don't play that shit on the Democratic side. Dianne Feinstein, she like, but them other ones I just named, oh no. Especially Kamala Harris, Mazie Hirono, and Dick Durbin, and Dick Blumenthal. Don't come and say the wrong shit and think that you just gonna just, nah. Because it ain't happening. But that's where we are. But that's why I say vote. Do your research on the candidates. Do your research on Joe Biden. Go on his website. He has so much policies within a policy within a policy. Just be like, you'll be reading that shit for days. But it's worth reading. And I still got to read because I've been so invested in my homework. I don't even have time to personally read things myself. But please vote. Vote like your life depends on it. Okay? But until then, I see you tomorrow night. Briefly, you guys have a good night. And for those who want to subscribe to my YouTube channel, it's my first and last name, Shantae Berry. Chantay. My last name is Berry. For those who want to follow me on Twitter, it's I am Shanteezy. IamChanteeEzy. Okay? So you have a good night.